Hope everybody had a great holiday. My holiday was good, but shortly after my phone broke. And I used my phone to make all my videos. I do have a GoPro Hero 11, but I mainly use my phone and it's glitching out on me. At first I thought it was the storage, but I try to clear it up and it's still messing up on me, so I guess 2026 I'll have to get a new phone. I might just go for an iPhone. Got an Android right now. It does the trick. It's pretty good for what I paid for it, but might just have to drop some more money on a better Android or just an iPhone, because for what I want to do, I want to film videos, make videos. I should probably just put in the money. Ironically, I just bought some wireless microphones so I could do something, interview people or talk to people. I don't know, not sure yet. I don't even know if I want to continue with this channel. I might try to start a different channel in 2026. I already have a couple other ones, one for scratch offs. Speaking of scratch offs and gambling and all that, Steve Will Do It is back, so that is one positive. Not to sound all negative, I mean, life's okay, my family, they're doing okay. I got a roof above my head and I'm not starving, so I'm going to start counting my blessings. It's just devastating when you use your phone to make videos and stuff like that and it starts messing up on you. It's real devastating. And also, I'll make a video and it doesn't seem like it gets out there too much, so I might have to see if a new channel will do better, especially if I'm going to start putting in actual work to videos. I don't want to be putting it. I don't want to be held back by this channel. Or as an experiment, I'm going to try to put it on a new video or a new channel and see how the videos do. I was going to go live on my other channel because I do have another channel with like 50 subscribers. I was going to go live and see how that did. See if it did better. But I don't want to do the same thing that I do on this channel on a different channel. So I want to save that channel for something different. I don't know what yet. The Scratch Off channel, I want to make it like all sorts of things channel, not just scratch offs, like fishing, whatever. But I don't know if I should start a whole new channel and do that type of stuff or just do it on this channel. My brother, he bought me one of those magnet fishing setups for Christmas, and I do have a GoPro, so I might strap that to my waist and do some magnet fishing and make a video out of that and see, just make a quick video with the GoPro and see how that does on here. I don't know. This is normally called Friday Night Rant, but I'm trying to just chill. I got a bit of a sore throat because I had to work today and I had a bottle of water that was in there since Wednesday, and I decided it would be okay to drink it because I was too lazy to stop at a store. I went later on and got some different water, but I think it had some bacteria, and now I got a sore throat because I drank water from Wednesday that was sitting in my truck all Christmas Day. But I'll be alright. I hope you guys are alright. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Um, Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your Christmas went. If you celebrate Christmas, some people don't celebrate. I respect that. I went to the liquor store, and I kind of talked about this in a video, but man, there were some people in there, and I was trying to look at some bottles, trying to get some rum, and yeah, I said excuse me, and I went by them, and they were kind of rude. They didn't move or anything. They kind of was just standing there, and I thought I heard the lady say like, "Yeah, get in there." And I'm like, "Damn, dude." I mean, that whole place smelled of sweat and desperation. I'm not a big drinker, but I'll have a drink every now and then, like once every 6 months. I don't know. We had a bottle of wine for Thanksgiving. We had like 1.5 glasses of some sparkling Pinot Grigio, if that's how you pronounce it. That wasn't too bad. And then for some reason I got some whiskey, but we didn't some Jack Daniels. And yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we didn't drink the whiskey, so I went and got some rum. And I used to drink the shit out of spiced rum when I was a kid. No, when I was a teenager, not a kid. I was a teenager partying, you know. Drank a whole bunch of Captain Morgan, handles of Captain Morgan, SoCo, Southern Comfort, and it's just too sweet. It's too sweet now. What's up, Stack? I thought your name was Upstack. I was like, ain't that a rapper? What's up, Stack? Hey, Jesus, yeah. I haven't heard that one before. Not. But anyways, we were talking about what like rum is for. Rum is for like when you're feeling kind of extra, like you want to be a pirate, you know. We were trying to like enjoy cooking. It was Christmas. I went and got a little pint. It's like $7 with a Coke. Wasn't bad. We had a rum and Coke. And anyways, nobody wants to hear about that. We were talking about what different liquors are for. So we were just like going over different liquors. Alright, so we have gin. And we were talking about gin and tonic. I've never had a gin and tonic. Hi, Taylor Toom. How you doing? But it seems to be like something you would drink like when you have nothing to do. You're just chilling by the beach all day or something. No responsibilities. Tequila is when you want to get sensual with the world. You'll get sensual with a fucking lamp on some tequila. That's what I wrote down. Or buzz balls. Buzz balls are appropriate there too, I guess. Vodka is when you want to fight or march like 50 miles in the snow. It just reminds me of Russian people. Scotch is definitely when you're feeling fancy or you want to read a library full of books. Wine is for overstimulated moms that want to watch some horror films and think about how they could get away with it better. That was me. Beers are for partying, like frat people, or working on your car or your yard, like when you get home from work. Seltzers are for influencers or lightweights trying to act like they could drink, or like I don't know, blonde college girls. I don't know. My French fry went to France and got arrested. Can you help me bail him out? My French fry. I'm trying to get the joke there. Hello, Lucio Laveros. Hello, damn, Pfeiffer, whatever your name is. Got some hard ass names in here. How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a great Christmas. That was just a little list I went over. I was talking about. What's your favorite type of flying insect? to swat away whatever the fuck this is flying around here. No, I think it's I got the door open, so it's moths. Um, funny story about moths. We had this. Our front door stayed open all the time, and whatever. It could be 4 o'clock in the morning. That front door was open for some damn reason. We had dogs that would go in and out, and it never really quite shut right. So we had a shirt hanging up under a light, and over the years, it was an A7X shirt. Over the years of just hanging there, it got filled with holes from all the moths. That was a true story. Alright, so vodka for extreme winter survival. Yeah. When I think of vodka, I think of Russian people. This is a story I'll tell you guys since I brought up the Russian people. I was like 16, 15, I don't know, too young to be partying, and I was on the beach, and we started off at this guy's house, and there was these people that were going from house to house, or from floor to floor, going, hey, and they would just walk into anybody's parties because it was spring break and there's a bunch of people, and we just followed them, you know. After a long night, there was plenty of other moments, but I'll get to the point of the story. We ended up following them back to their hotel at the end of the night, and they had like a whole table full of liquor. They were Russian, and this guy, you know, I'm like, holy crap, you know, and I went to go like touch something, and this guy's like, no, I'm the bartender, you know, and he pours me up this mixed drink, and he sets it on fire. And I'm like, that was the first time I ever seen anything like that. It was like straight out of a movie, you know? Maybe you had to be there, but crazy. Crazy. The guy that we were going to stay at his, in his hotel room. He ended up getting jumped in the elevator, so we couldn't stay there. And then we went from like hotel to hotel, trying to like sleep in the laundry room or whatnot, getting kicked out. And it was cold as hell on the beach, so we were gonna sleep on the beach, but it was too cold. Anyways, we like stayed up all night, ended up getting picked up by one of my friend's moms the next morning. It was a good night though. Towards the end of the night, there was this guy. He let us in his hotel room, and some lady throughout the whole night ended up getting her purse stolen, and for some reason they thought it was one of us or somebody I was with, and they were all above age, so who knows, they might have done some shit. I was underage. If they did it, I didn't know it, but cops came to the door. They took pictures of all of us. I was way underage. I shouldn't even have been out. I might have been younger than 15 or 16, but they let me go. They let us all go, but they took pictures of us and let us go. And to this day, it still says I'm a year older than what I am because I lied to the cops, like on their website when I was a kid. I don't know if they ever fixed it, but that's a true story as well. I've only been to jail one time in my life, and I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. It's not a good place to be. And then when you get out, you miss stuff. You miss like just sitting here doing nothing. You know, like, and then like after a week or two, you're bored of sitting there doing nothing. It's all about perspective. Life is about perspective. Fucking, you know, somebody might look at my life. I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying I look at other people's lives, and I'm sure I'm like, oh man, why don't I have that? I should have that. I should work harder, this or that. But somebody could be looking at my life and be like, dang, you know, I had somebody, my girl's friend said, you know, that she was like proud of us, and it's like, we're just trying to get by. It's, you know, and we I don't know. I, I feel bad about. I never feel like I'm doing enough, but I guess it's because I know I could do more. I know I could do more, and I could let my stuff like my phone breaking hold me back, but I guess I'm just gonna have to use somebody else's phone, which is what I'm doing now, using my fiance's phone, or buy a new phone, save up. I mean, I could let it stop me, but I also have a GoPro. I bought this GoPro fucking a year ago, spent $400 on it. It has a case and everything. I never used it. I never used it. And now I have a reason to use it. My brother bought me a magnet fishing set. If you're into fishing, check out Things Dean Does. Like Things Dean Does. It's hard for me to say that, but he does fishing in his spare time. He also does scratch offs. But if you're into fishing, check out that channel. He has the time. He don't have family and everything, so he could go fishing a lot. He does a lot of fishing videos. But my son likes to go fishing, so we might start doing that. But I'm definitely gonna do the magnet fishing, and he might come or he might not come. I don't know. He might be in some videos. He might not be in some videos. In fact, we could take turns being the camera guy, so it might work out. He might just be my camera guy. I don't know. I feel kind of bad about that, but I also have the GoPro, so I could just strap it to my chest and make a video like that. But I don't know. It's like through hikers. I seen a video of through hikers, but I'm sure we've all thought about this, where they're walking down a trail and they had to set up that camera. They had to go forward, set up the camera, then go back and tape them walking, and then go back and get the camera, multiple times. It's like, but this was a video of a guy, like, he walked up there, set up the camera, hurried up, ran back, and then, like, casually walked up to the camera. It was pretty funny. But yeah, shout out Steve Will Do It. He's back on YouTube. If you don't like Steve Will Do It, whatever. I guess we can't be friends, because, I've been waiting for Steve to get his channel back. It's a damn Christmas miracle. He has some dark humor. I get that, but overall, I think he's a decent person. I mean, he's always giving away stuff, and oh, your message is redacted. You took your message away. Sorry, buddy. If I didn't see your message, I'm sitting here yapping. Are you looking forward to Black Frieza arc? Black Frieza. I don't know what you're talking about, because I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a while, if that's what you're talking about, which I assume you are, because that's a character from Dragon Ball Z and other ones. But yeah, my cousin drew that. She's a really good artist. She's an artiste. She drew both of those, and I've been telling her for a while to like start a YouTube channel, start a Facebook page, Facebook group. I told her how to do it, but she didn't do it. I think she has an Instagram. I'm not going to give it out without her permission. I don't even know if she's doing it or not, but yeah, she's pretty good. She was diagnosed autistic when she was younger, but she's one hell of a drawer, and she's really artistic. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny how it's not funny, but it's interesting how some autistic people, they have like some things that they're really, really good at, because they're hyper focused on it. She was hyper focused on art, and she's able to make stuff like that. I used to try to draw stuff like that when I was younger, and she, to be honest, that's probably not even her best work, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All I could see is this message retracted, and I keep thinking, what did he say? What did they say? Abdullah Ablangara. No, Abdullah. I don't. Cheney. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. What did you say? What did you say? I hope you're having a good night. If you're watching, hit that subscribe button, hit the like. It does help if you do that. You know, just saying, it does help. You could also leave a comment. I'm just a regular guy, work a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, cleaning pools. Alright, I gotta work tomorrow because I was off Christmas and I gotta make up for it. That's some bullshit, but it is what it is. But that's what you do. That's what you do when you have a family. But obviously it doesn't give me a lot of time to put into these videos, to put into YouTube. So going live is real easy. It's easier, but then again, it's live. So I don't have notes. It's just me rambling. I do have to start putting in more time. I don't know. I don't really know if I want to sit here and edit me talking and make it sound like all perfect and cut out the pauses, and I don't know, or if I just want to go into something else. I mean, you know, but I don't have much hobbies. I don't have many hobbies. I mean, I like my son likes sports. He just got some soccer goals. So, you know, I might go live playing some soccer with him. I don't know yet. Got to grow a garden to do gardening videos. I don't have a garden, so I can't do that. But I would. Speaking of that, I Show Speed Soccer. Speaking of that, I Show Speed is in Fortnite. Shout out to him. When are they going to give Typical Gamer a skin? I don't know. But they gave I Show Speed one. And I got it for my son. Well, he got it for himself because I had to help him. But yeah, I'm going to probably get it sooner or later. I Show Speed is one of my favorite streamers. One of them. He used to be my favorite, but now he's not because there's like multiple worlds of streamers, and it's hard to just pick one. But as far as like that age group or whatever, that out of him and Aiden and Kai Cenat, like he's definitely my favorite. A lot of people hate on Aiden. It's like you could hate on Aiden Ross, but you can't deny that kid, you know, has, yeah, he has whatever, for what he's doing, he has that shit pretty down. Yeah. Kai Cenat, I don't know if Kai Cenat, you know, I don't know, he seems to be going more into like entertainment and Hollywood with the whole Kevin Hart. I don't know, I don't really watch him, so I could be wrong. Speed seems to still be doing his own thing, but he's kind of he's going towards sports, you know, WWE. You know, he's sponsored by Prime, I think. And I made a video and I was talking about Logan Paul. A lot of people hating on Logan Paul all the time. You know, but one thing you could say about Logan Paul is like, you know, he chased his dreams and he did it. And I think people hate on him because of that. Sure, there's some issues. You know, he allegedly ripped people off. I don't know. We all make mistakes. Overall, you know, he seems like a decent person. I have my moments of not liking him, but him and his brother, I see him, you know, it's like they worked their ass off to get to where they're at, and if they love doing what they do, they're winning. They're winning more than somebody that's not doing nothing, hating on them. Just hating on a guy on the internet that's never gonna see your comments. You know, that is happy. It's like, you might as well just be happy. Don't waste your time hating on them. because they're not wasting their time worrying about you. And they might be delusional, but that's what got them to where they're at. And it's like, I grew up, I talked about this in the video, but I grew up watching WWE, and he's a part of WWE now, and I think Jake might go into WWE sooner or later. That's my prediction. And, that's like a big part of my life. That was a big part of my life growing up. And it's cool, like, if I, at his age, if I could have, I didn't have that ambition to become part of WWE. I'll admit that, but I did. We used to pretend to wrestle. I had some friends that were into backyard wrestling. I never did that shit either, but I liked wrestling when I was a kid. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, The Rock, Triple H. That was a big part of my childhood growing up. I just learned the other day, because my girl's watching Dawson's Creek. That was another part of my childhood, because I had a sister. If you had a sister back then, they watched that shit. And that song is like nostalgic to me, just because I used to hear her watch it. And I just found out that, I guess it was a fight. I was young. I was like 6 or 7 back then. And we didn't have cable, so whatever. Whenever it came on, it came on. And I guess it was like 8 o'clock. And at the same time, Dawson's Creek came on. So it was always a fight between me and my 2 brothers and her to watch either wrestling or Dawson's Creek, until my parents would just give in and let her go and watch it in their room. So I never knew that. I never knew that me watching WWE was getting in her way of watching her show. Because I definitely remember her watching that show. Sorry, I put in a Zen. I don't think you guys want to see that. Fucking Tucker Carlson, he had me fooled for a second. He said that these were supposed to be suppositories. And, yeah, I believed him. I thought people really stuck these up their bum. But I guess not. But anyways, old shows like that, we kind of got back into watching. Malcolm in the Middle. Damn, I named my son after that show, and Mac Miller. But, Seven Heaven. Seven Heaven was a show we used to watch. Roseanne, Home Improvement. So we've been watching Home Improvement a little bit, not too much, And if it wasn't for my girl, I never would watch those shows again. I never would have watched Roseanne again, or Home Improvement, or whatever. Dawson's Creek, I definitely never would have watched that. But that shit's funny as hell when he cries. I know that. That's like the ugliest crying face ever. And I used to see the meme before I watched the show with her. And I used to see the meme of his face. But when he does the face, you can't help but laugh. It's supposed to be like a serious moment. He's crying. But you can't help but laugh. Anybody go watch it if you have, I think it's on Netflix, but I don't know. That's crazy. It's crazy the feeling I get when I hear that song. It's like we grew up watching The Simpsons, King of the Hill. When I hear that, it's not that, it doesn't really do anything for me. It's, yeah, sure, it's kind of nostalgic, but when I watched the original first episode and the Santa's Little Helper, and that's nostalgic. But hearing that that Dawson's Creek song, it's like it brings me instantly back to that time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just romanticizing the past. Maybe that's not the right word, but I don't know. Seems like it was a simpler time. It seems like there was more to life back then than there is now, and I don't mean to sound like so fucking depressing, but it just seems like, yeah, people people were a little more involved with each other back then. A little more, they thought a little bit deeper, I guess, or maybe felt a little deeper. I don't know. It's like the internet definitely did some shit to us. I don't know what it necessarily. I don't know what it's done to us, but it definitely, you know, changed us in ways, whether good or worse. Some of it's good for sure, but yeah, you know, I've spent the last the last decade with a phone in my pocket, you know, kind of glued to that phone, certain, you know, social media apps, whatever. I never gave it a second thought until a few years ago, and then I'm just like, whoa. It's like, what would my life have been like if I just didn't have that? If I didn't have that distraction, I didn't have that right there to go to. All the time put into that shit, you know, all the time wasted. Sure, it was like, you know, it was connecting me to shit I never would have saw, and it helped me learn and not have such a closed mind, because I came from a small town. I mean, there wasn't even a, when I was growing up, this is a true story, there wasn't even a black person in my neighborhood. It was like a small little town with all white people, and it doesn't mean they were racist, but I'm just saying, like, I remember when the first black person came to town, everybody knew, everybody talked about it. And we had some Spanish people in town, you know, and it wasn't a big deal because they were just part of the town. They were always there, you know, they were always a part of the town. But we used to fish with their kids, you know, on the dock. Sometimes we would fight over the dock, and we would fight and shit because there was a bunch of brothers and sisters, and, you know, I had a couple brothers, and we were all about the same age, and we were all trying to fish, and I don't know. Like, we stole their stuff. Sometimes they stole our stuff, kind of deal. I remember we had this lake that we weren't supposed to be there. It was like surrounded by woods, and you could get back there, but you had to know how to get in. Like, it wasn't just like a open lake. So we would sneak in there, and somebody built like a big ass raft, and like the adult kids would have to go, because I was like 5 or 6 at the time. The adult kids would have to go and find the raft and, you know, get it for everybody. It would always be stuck somewhere, and we'd be out in the middle of the lake, and the teenagers would be like all running to one side, and the whole freaking, it was like a big raft. It was like 10 by 10, maybe even like 10 by 12, you know. It was like a square, and they'd be like flipping this whole fucking thing up, you know. And there was one time, there was a little hole in the board, and you could see the bottom. This was a clear ass lake, and you could see the bottom, and I swore I saw like a white alligator. Could have been just my young imagination, but there were alligators in this lake. You know, it's Florida, so. And we used to go around the lake, and we would see like the little alligator slides from when they would slide back into the water. So they were definitely there. And yeah, these kids, man, they were fucking trying to flip the raft with like 10 people on the damn raft. They would all run to one side and then run to the next, and for a little kid, that was scary as hell. I'm like tripping out. And like, they would flip it sometimes accidentally. So it'd be like almost impossible to like flip back around because there was nothing but like styrofoam shit on the bottom. And like, then we would have to swim to the lake, or swim to the shore, which was like 50 feet away. And there was a time where my brother almost drowned my other brother. And he talked about that for like multiple years. I guess, you know, they're swimming to the shore, and he was the bigger one, and he just like grabbed him and pushed him down to get further himself. Pretty messed up. And I guess somebody else helped him. I should have him talk about that story. Go look up things Dean does on YouTube and ask him about that. I don't know. He's doing it live right now. He's night fishing. uh, I guess we've kind full or he came full circle, you know, because we grew up fishing, so you know it was really a big part of our childhood. Come to think about it, but we just, you know, we weren't fancy. We you know used whatever we could, worms or bread. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but just just rambling on, I guess. It's I did get some wireless microphones. So with these wireless microphones, I don't have to hook up my microphone or try to hook it up to a phone. I could just they come with this little thing that you hook on the bottom of your phone or like to the GoPro, and then you just could clip it on. I'm sure you guys seen it. So I'll be able I'll be able to like be away from the camera and you guys could still hear me. So I won't have to worry about that. But I don't know. I would have to have like somebody filming still, or I could do interviews, which I've thought about doing that with random people. At least I wanted to at you know, at a certain time I wanted to do that. I don't know if I want to do that so much anymore. I don't know, because I run into a lot of people at work, and people from all different walks of life, and some of them are pretty interesting. I believe they all have a story to tell. We all have a story to tell, and it's just them feeling comfortable with me, and that, so that's a lot to ask. You know, put them on YouTube for the whole world to see. Of course, I would want to do it right, but I don't want to. Yeah, that's a big barrier to. If they were my customers, then I would ask them no problem. And I've asked a couple, and they said they would do it. One guy, he's a firefighter in New Jersey. He's waiting to retire. That would be interesting to talk to him. Again, I would want to do it out of respect to him. And sometimes I talk about some crazy stuff, or I ramble on this channel. So I don't know. I might have a new channel to start doing stuff like that, and keep this for rambling, keep this for whatever. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want a family channel, but I would like to, you know, introduce my family. I'm sure if you look at the channel, there's a couple videos of them. You could see them. I'm not hiding them, but out of respect for them and to keep it kind of private, I don't really show much of our day-to-day life. A lot of it is just me working and getting by. It's not too much to show. We did used to go everywhere. We used to travel a lot. Um, I'm working on a lot of things, but I'm working on like building my credit to get a car eventually, and we need a big enough car for everybody, and then I'll be able to do stuff like that. But that's more for like because we need it, and that's for us. But I would love to film different places, go in different places. I told my brother he has a good job, he has a car, he doesn't have a family, he has time. You know, he could do all types of stuff like that, like if he wants to do it. And I think he's camping right now. That's what he's doing. So he's been going live almost all day. You know, doing that, fishing. So it's a start. He's, you know, I don't know. I gotta find a hobby of my own. I've kind of always, you know, looked up to my older brother, so I kind of always did what he did. But ironically, I started YouTube first and told him to do this because I always thought he was the one to be able to do it. Like he'd be good at it, but he didn't want to do it. And I'm like, it's the people that would be good at it that don't want to do it. So I convinced him to do it, and he always brings it up, and I'm like, don't bring it up. But here I am bringing it up because usually it's me following him or doing, you know, doing what he does or whatever. And he does scratch offs. I got a scratch off channel, but I'm not serious with it, and that's more his thing, and he has the time and money and opportunity to do that. So I don't want to, you know, copy him or, you know, be a Mr. Bro. You know, we all seen what happened with Mr. Beast's brother. It didn't work out too well for him. I'm not trying to copy what my brother does, but fishing is something like universal that could work on this channel, and I would actually enjoy doing. And my son wants to do it now, and we got some fishing poles for Christmas. So, and my brother got me the magnet fishing setup. So I'm probably going to be doing some magnet fishing on this channel. If you like it, hit that like button, subscribe. You know, you might see some magnet fishing. You might not. I don't know. No, you'll probably see some. But really, in 2026, I talked about this in my video. I gotta take it more serious. I gotta get to it. I believe no matter what you're doing, you got a job, keep your job. You might want to save up some money. You might want to stack up, because I just have a feeling that things are gonna get pretty chaotic. And I don't know. I've multiple people have told me to start investing. Investing seems kind of risky, but then again, 10 years down the line, it might pay off. Then some other people are trying to get me into crypto, you know, just buying some crypto. So in 10 years from now, I might have some money. I don't know. I haven't done any of that shit. I don't know shit about crypto. I don't know shit about, what are they? PFD? JPEGs? Fucking dancing monkeys? I don't know what they're called. They were real big a couple of years ago. They were like a picture, but not a picture, because if you screenshotted it, it doesn't count. I don't know the word for it. I'm blanking, but yeah, never got into that. Probably a good thing. A lot of scams going on with that. I don't know. How long have I been going? 42 minutes. Not bad. But yeah, I think everybody should be prepared in 2026. I think everybody should be putting their nose to the grindstone, getting things done, as they say, whatever. And I don't think it's time to play around anymore. You know, I've kind of always gotten by. In life. I've kind of always, like, you know, I've never been too motivated. I've kind of just, like, been comfortable with getting by. Oh, I'm just rambling, man. But right now I'm talking about, like, how you got to be prepared for 2026. I just have this feeling that, like, it's time to lock the hell in for anybody. It's time to save up, because I think it's only going to get chaotic from here on out. I mean, the world's already, you know, pretty chaotic, but I just have a feeling it's going to get harder and harder. I mean, it is. And it's not getting any easier, that's for sure. But I think it's like, if you have a dream, you better try to go after it in 2026, or it might be too late. I'm just saying. And I feel that way for myself. Like, whatever I want to do with this channel or YouTube or whatever, I gotta actually put in the time and effort and get that shit done. And part of me saying this is to try to motivate myself, but I don't know. I was talking about how I kind of always gotten by. Like, I don't need much to feel okay. I don't, like, so I've kind of always, like, just gotten by, you know? And I never, like, pushed to have more. I never pushed to, like, personal growth is what I'm talking about. Like, I kind of just, like, went with the circumstances. I don't know how to properly say it, but yep, damn, same energy as me getting a foot infection while I work on my feet. Yeah, my feet are always wet doing pulls, because I'm always splashing my feet. And it took me 5 years to be like, maybe I shouldn't splash my feet. I should try not to splash my feet all the time, because it's pretty shitty working with wet feet all the time, and that's not good for your feet or your nails. Depending on how you want to pay it off and credit, Android works wonders. Yeah, my phone is fucking up too. Yeah, my phone is fucking up, and it's an Android. This is my fiance's phone, and that's what I do all my videos on. But I have a GoPro that I could start, doing different videos with. And I guess I'm gonna have to get a new phone, and I should probably. I don't know if I should go after like an iPhone, but I have to go after something that's gonna help me with these videos. And I just got some wireless microphones, so that's gonna help with something. But it's really about putting in the time and effort. I work 40 hours, so I gotta find time in between that, and I can't be too distracted from work with this, because that is my main income, and I can't afford to lose that. I wish I could just go all in and not care about my job sometimes, but I can't do that. So it is what it is. I've always been okay with getting by, and I never strived for too much more. And sometimes I even felt like it'd be offending others to try harder, to try more. Like I didn't, like I cared what people thought around me, or maybe I didn't want to. I definitely don't want to leave anybody behind in personal growth, like my family. It's like it's either we all do it together or we don't do it. So lots of talks have been going on, but I believe anybody should try to do this. Don't just get by. Don't just get by. And I got a sore throat right now because I drank some water that was in my truck since Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure it gave me a sore throat from that, which sucks. But I'm still doing this live because it's Friday, and I usually do a live every Friday. I do a live on Saturday playing Vice City, which I enjoy to play. I enjoy playing Vice City. I grew up playing that game, but I'm not really a gamer. I'm not trying to be like the best at it. I'm not competitive enough to be like a competitive gamer for sure. Like something like Fortnite, I'll play it to have fun, but it's just, yeah, that's not me. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a gamer. Nothing. I'm not throwing any shade at anybody who does gaming. I wouldn't mind streaming some, but I don't think I want to be a streamer. I just want to make some videos, but mainly I just want to focus on my life, personal growth, and make videos around that instead of trying to fold my life around the videos, if that makes any sense. Because it's hard to talk about shit when you really aren't doing shit. Mainly, I've just been talking about how I feel and shit I've been going through and the shit that's been holding me back and the shit that's been like bothering me every day, which only is worsened by me thinking about it all the time, and it helps to actually think about others instead of thinking about yourself. But yeah, I don't know. Thinking about yourself is not a selfish thing. It's like there's a difference between, believing in yourself and being confident, and also between that and being cocky, there's a difference. I don't want to be cocky. Even if I start to have a little bit of success with videos or anything, last thing I want to be is cocky. I don't want to come off as arrogant, like I'm better than anybody. And sometimes people get offended. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people get upset when they see you trying harder. And I've always cared about that. I've always had that in my head. And it's like, it's time to not care. It's time to not worry about that. Because I know personally I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to be the best person I can be. I'm just trying to try stuff in life. life is about trying stuff, not doing the same routine every day until one day pass away or whatever. It's life is more than paying bills and yeah, just getting by, and especially for the kids. If you have kids, it's and you work and everything, it's like it's easy just to get by, but that's their childhood that they're missing out on. So I've been making it more of a point to spend more time with them outside. Shit that I never got to do with my dad. I don't. I never. It's not like poor me, pity me. But I've never. I never played ball with my dad or anything like that. And he's passed away now. And I don't hold it against him. But I know. I wish I had more time with him. I wish I would have talked with him more. So I try to talk to my sons, and I try to spend more time with them. And I could always spend a lot more. And sometimes it's a struggle between paying attention to this and paying attention to them and my fiance, for that matter. It's not. It's funny because I'm sure everybody heard of what's that guy's name, the Outdoor Boys, and he quit doing YouTube because it was bringing too much attention to him and his family, and he wasn't. He said he didn't want that, and like they weren't ready for that, and that's not what they wanted. And his son wants to do YouTube, so he's like, why not help my son, which is a pretty cool thing to do. He's already made it. He's already became successful. Why not spend the time with his family and everything? And people were saying he was getting too popular, and people were starting to recognize him in public, and including girls, and people were saying that it was his wife that didn't want him to do videos, and that's some bullshit. People, like, I understand where he's coming from because I'm a very private person, and I don't like to put my family out there and all that. If I wanted to, I could make a channel based around them and what stuff we do, but I never wanted to get popular off a family channel or like my kids or whatever. And it's like, it's about privacy. I get it. And I don't know. So yeah, that's some bullshit. But people just come up with any excuse for anything. They want to find some alternative reason to anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Same fucking people that will buy a load of fucking bullshit from the news or whatever. And we often waste too much fucking time focusing on somebody else's life anyways. Whether he quit because he wanted to, or it was his wife or whatever. That's their fucking business. What? Why does it matter? That's not our life. Dude is still raking in dough. He's still successful. He's helping his son now. His son has a channel that's doing better than most adult creators. People just have nothing better to do. I don't know. So, I'm not talking about that anymore. But, yeah. At the end of the day, you got to focus on yourself and your family if you have one. And screw the haters. Screw the distractions. That we just got some Epstein files leaked. And it's like, although there is victims, to the monster of Jeffrey Epstein, I don't believe we'll ever find out really what the fuck happened. And it's all redacted anyways. And that only comes up with more questions. And all I can think about is how much shit is going on while people are hyper fixated on this. How much shit are they getting away with or whatever, And that's all I can think about. But I don't know. I don't think we'll know. And I don't know the answers to all this shit when it comes to politics and all that. All I could say is that people are better off focusing on their life and bettering their life for their self instead of waiting on somebody to fix the government or to fix their life. That shit ain't gonna fucking happen. That ain't gonna happen. You know, it's like believing in a fairy tale. It's not worth it. You're just gonna waste your life away, and why waste your life being mad at, talking shit about other people, talking shit about this or that? You know, it's like growing up and thinking about finding a bag of money. Oh, if I wish I could find a bag of money. Well, that shit ain't gonna fucking happen. Shit. Even if you found a bag of money, it might be a setup. You might take that shit and then you don't do the right thing, return it in. Next thing you know, you get arrested. So that shit ain't worth it. Waiting around for the lottery, you know. I'm not saying don't play the lottery, but you know, you can't sit around waiting for that to just drop in your lap. You know, and that kind of hurts me sometimes because I believe there is something to ask in the universe for something, kind of manifesting it. So I do believe in that. You know, you kind of got to focus on something and ask, you know, kind of like work towards it or believe that it's possible for it to happen. But it doesn't mean it just fell in your lap. Perhaps you put in the time and effort because you were focused on it. And the universe gave you what you asked for. But you can't just literally say, give me a bag of money. You know, give me the lottery. You still gotta fucking play the lottery. I will say that, but it doesn't mean you're gonna hit. I don't know. Maybe that makes me a pessimistic. Is that the right word? I don't even know. It's like this YouTube channel. I could be positive and hope for the best, or I could be sitting here saying it's never gonna work out. You know, this channel's screwed, whatever. I've made too many videos that didn't go anywhere. But why would I give up now? Why would I give up now? In my opinion, I haven't put in that much effort to really see if it was possible. I've done more than most, but a lot less than others. And that goes for a lot of things in my life. But I could either sit here and dwell on that, beat myself up, or I could try harder. Try again. And believe that it's impossible. Believe it's impossible. No, believe it's possible. Or else it'll never happen if you don't believe. Because you won't even try. And so, call me delusional, but maybe you have to be delusional sometimes to get what you want. And you gotta ask the universe, even if it sounds ridiculous, something like a bag of money. Perhaps it would happen if you ask every day. I don't know. But I think I'm done rambling. It's been almost an hour. It's a pretty chill live. Again, I've had a few people pop in. A couple of y'all said hello. That's pretty cool. I would love it for people to hit that like and subscribe button and catch me on the next one. But also, if you have like something you want to ask, or you need advice, or you just want to say hello, or you want to be a part of the video, I have an email in my description that you could send in a voice message to the email, and I'll play it on one of my videos. I would love to, you know, talk back to the listeners. You know, I'm not a professional, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like a lot of times these videos are me getting out a lot of shit that I need to get out, and it helps me to be a better person. So if I could do that for somebody, I'm more than willing to do that. And I've been through a lot of shit that I might be able to help some people, It's the least I could do. But I believe I do help people through my videos. I've, I've had people tell me that I have, or change their way of thinking, change their mindset for the day. And sometimes that's all it takes. All it takes is one positive thought to change your whole day. Same goes in reverse. It takes one negative thought to ruin your whole day. Sometimes I'll start off with just one bad thing happens, and that throws me into this negative loop, and I gotta stop and reset and calm down and tell myself to look at the positives, stop thinking about the negatives, stop thinking about myself. If I'm gonna focus so much time on myself, it should be in a fucking positive way. It should be planning. It should be, planning some type of structure, some game plan. Instead of worrying all the time, thinking about what isn't gonna happen, I gotta start planning. I gotta start believing. I gotta start writing it down. I believe there's a big part of actually putting it down on paper. I've learned that from Joey Diaz. And I've done it a few times. I've done it a few times, and I've seen it happen in real life, in my life, where I've tried and asked for certain stuff, and I might just like certain stuff for my house or whatever, and I find it on the side of a road, and it's usable, and I didn't even have to pay a dime for it. Like I just got a pump for I have a turtle, and they got these expensive pumps. I just found one on the side of a road, and it's like a couple $100, and it's like I've been wanting one of those pumps for a while. So was that me manifesting it? Was that the universe just hooking me up? Because it's done that it did that quite a lot in 2025. And should I ask for more? Should I accept what I have? I don't know. These are tough questions. I don't know. Because I want to be grateful, but I don't want to be greedy. And, life isn't all about money or fame. It's about having a good time. It's about being happy, finding your happiness, whatever that may be, making others around you happy. I don't think the meaning of life lies in focusing on oneself your whole life. Even if it turns you into a billionaire. Then you have a bunch of yes men around you and you don't know if they like you for who you are, love you for who you are, or they love you for your money. You can't trust a single person. I was learning about Howard Hughes, and I think he had a lot of OCD tendencies, and he didn't want people to touch doornails and doorknobs without a tissue and shit like that. And a lot of people talk about it like it was OCD, but I was thinking maybe that dude was a billionaire, so maybe he was thinking they're trying to kill me, they want my money, and he was freaking out about that, isolating himself. For all I know, he could have faked his own death. Who knows? Who knows? I like to think that maybe certain people fake their own death to get away from the shit. You hear that. You hear that about Howard Hughes. You hear that about Tupac. Elvis. Although I think Elvis actually did die. And sadly, I think Tupac did too. But it'd be nice if he got away. Biggie too. It'd be nice. It's a nice thought that they got away and away from all of it. And it's funny how, they spent their life trying to get famous if that's the case. And then once they got that, they realized it's not all what it's chalked up to be. There's something about being able to walk down the street and people not recognize you. Once you get to a certain level, you can't walk down the street without armed security and all that shit. And you gotta worry about somebody trying to kill you, take what you have. I don't think everybody wants that. I don't think I want that. I don't think I would want that. You know, that's too much. That's too much. I would love to help people, but if, you know, with that kind of fame and that kind of recognition, even though I'd be reaching a lot of people, I'd be helping a lot of people, there would be a lot of haters. No matter what you do in this life, there's always going to be fucking haters. No matter what you do. There's people that love Mr. Beast for what he does, and there's people that hate him. There's people that love Steve Will Do It for what he does, and there's people that hate him. And I think people should just focus on themselves when it comes down to it. Life's too short to worry about somebody else. Doesn't mean you can't recognize where somebody has achieved, you know, success. Somebody like Mr. Beast. There's no denying that he's on top of the YouTube shit. It has been for a while. He's definitely successful in it. Same with Logan Paul. People love to hate on him. Jake Paul. People love to hate on these people. But they did what they wanted to do. They're successful in their own right. And if that makes them happy, and they don't give a fuck, you know. But, you know, and they'll be remembered for good things they did, and they'll be remembered for bad things they did. I mean, you could be 10 times a better person than what they are and still get hated on. So, I don't know. Is life all about leaving a legacy that everybody loves you, or is it about focusing on your success and your happiness? Now, of course, you can't crush people and stomp your foot on people on the way up, you know? I don't believe in that. So if you did that, or you do that to advance yourself, you got some bad karma coming. And you have to live with that. So perhaps they have to live with that, those people that did that. Who knows what people are going through. You know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side kind of thing. It's just shit I've been thinking about, because I won't lie, I have looked at, who hasn't looked at YouTube or shit, you know, whoever it is. You could see somebody doing backflips on a dirt bike and be like, fuck, wish I could do backflips on a dirt bike. That seems pretty fucking badass. Or somebody fishing, be like, fuck man, I want to fish now. I don't know. Or maybe that's just me. Some people know what they want to do and they go and do it. And good for them. I don't hate on those people. You know, I wish I had more goals, more of a structure. It's something I got to work on in 2026 for sure. And I believe it's now or never. It's either I do it now or it's not going to happen. And that might not be a bad thing. That'll give me time to focus on my family. And that brings me happiness. I had to go through... Funny thing is, I had to try this. I had to go through all this YouTube shit to find out what mattered, ironically enough. You know, I was just talking about how it was kind of hard for me to be in like sociable, to have a good time at a party, Some of that's from being isolated. You know, all my friends, we kind of grew up and went our separate ways, and so I don't have many friends that I hang out with, and it's been just me and my family and my coworkers, and I talked to a few of them, but it's not like I'm going out and hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And at a certain age, I believe you stop doing that anyways, but you should always have friends. And my point is, I'm getting better at being able to talk to people and feeling okay with who I am. A lot of that just comes from doing what you're supposed to do and knowing that you do what you're supposed to do and knowing yourself and knowing that it's okay who you are. It's okay. Everybody has faults, Growing up, I would focus on everybody else instead of focusing on myself, and that would make me feel better. But then there came a time where I stopped focusing on everybody else and was hyper-focused on myself, which had to happen because, I had to fix stuff, and I still have to fix stuff. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all go through shit. Some of us learn it faster than others. And I've done a lot of talking. About this to realize, to get to this point. But at least I got to the point. And I would like to think I didn't get to this point of understanding to now just stop. It's not like I'm perfect how I am, but I'm okay. It's okay. You got to be okay with who you are in order to build on top of that. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to have a foundation to build on. And yeah, I guess I'm going to end this. I've rambled enough. Hopefully, if you watch this, you get something out of it. And if you did, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Catch me on the next one. Watch some of my videos if you want to understand who I am. But take everything I say with a grain of salt and realize it's me. Most of my videos are me just thinking shit out. And it's not full completed, it's not like, not all of them are exactly how I feel. I'm always trying to grow and become a better person, and with time comes more understanding of certain subjects and topics. And some of the things I talked about, perhaps I should have put more time in, but you live and you learn. And that's the way it is. I don't have a catchy phrase to end this shit, so I'm just gonna say, take care of yourself and stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. Thanks for watching.